Have you ever wondered what lies beyond the edge of our known universe? What NASA just discovered might be the most shocking evidence of divine presence ever captured by human technology. Today we're exploring a discovery so profound that NASA allegedly tried to keep it secret, an image from the Hubble Space Telescope that seemingly shows something impossible, defying both science and spirituality. For more than 30 years, Hubble has revealed stunning views of space, but on December 26, 1994, it captured something unlike anything ever seen before. The image sparked global debate among religious groups, scientists, and conspiracy theorists. The story begins in December 1994, just weeks after astronauts completed crucial repairs to the Hubble Space Telescope. The telescope had been launched in 1990 with a flawed mirror that produced blurry images, but after the successful repair mission, Hubble was finally ready to fulfill its promise of crystal-clear views of the universe. According to reports that surfaced in the Weekly World News, a tabloid publication, NASA scientists were conducting routine observations when they captured something extraordinary. The telescope was allegedly pointed toward a distant star cluster when it transmitted back hundreds of images to the Goddard Space Flight Center in Maryland. Dr. Marcia Mason, described as a researcher and author, claimed to have inside sources at NASA who revealed the shocking discovery. Among the routine astronomical photographs was an image that appeared to show a massive, luminous city floating in the depths of space. This wasn't just any celestial object. The structure appeared to have geometric patterns, architectural features, and a brilliant glow that suggested something far beyond natural cosmic phenomena. The image showed what looked like towering spires, organized structures, and patterns that seemed almost too perfect to be natural formations. The city appeared to be enormous, stretching across vast distances of space, yet maintaining coherent architectural elements that suggested intelligent design. According to the reports, NASA scientists were stunned by what they were seeing. Here was something that defied all known laws of physics and astronomy. Life as we understand it cannot survive in the frozen vacuum of space. Yet here was what appeared to be a massive, organized structure that could only be described as a city. When news of this discovery began to circulate, religious communities around the world reacted with a mixture of excitement, skepticism, and profound contemplation. For many believers, this image represented the long-awaited scientific proof of heaven's existence. Here was potential evidence that the spiritual realm described in religious texts was not just metaphorical, but an actual physical location that could be observed and documented. Christian communities were particularly intrigued by the discovery's timing. The image was allegedly captured just one day after Christmas, a coincidence that many found too significant to ignore. Some religious leaders suggested that this divine revelation was a gift to humanity, a sign that God wanted to provide tangible proof of the afterlife during the season of spiritual reflection. The implications extended far beyond Christianity. Islamic scholars noted similarities between the described city and descriptions of paradise in the Quran. Jewish rabbis discussed connections to biblical descriptions of the heavenly Jerusalem. Hindu and Buddhist teachers explored how this discovery might relate to their concepts of higher spiritual realms. However, the religious community was not universally accepting of these claims. Many religious leaders urged caution, emphasizing that faith should not depend on photographic evidence. They argued that true spiritual belief transcends the need for physical proof, and that divine mysteries are meant to remain beyond human comprehension. Some theologians raised important questions about the nature of heaven itself. If heaven could be photographed by human technology, what did this mean for traditional concepts of the spiritual realm? Was heaven a physical location that existed within our universe, or was this discovery something else entirely? While some people embraced the image as proof of the divine, the scientific community responded with immediate and widespread skepticism. Professional astronomers and space scientists began analyzing the claims, the image, and the circumstances surrounding the alleged discovery. The first red flag for scientists was the source of the story. The Weekly World News was known for publishing sensational and often fictional stories alongside legitimate news. This tabloid had previously featured headlines about bat-human hybrids, alien encounters, and other clearly fabricated stories. The fact that such a monumental discovery was first reported by this publication rather than through official NASA channels or peer-reviewed scientific journals raised serious questions about credibility. NASA itself never officially confirmed the discovery. Despite repeated requests for comment, the space agency refused to verify the authenticity of the image or the circumstances surrounding its capture. This silence was particularly suspicious given NASA's usual enthusiasm for sharing groundbreaking discoveries with the public. Scientists also noted several technical problems with the story. The image showed light spikes emanating from the alleged city in patterns that didn't match Hubble's characteristic diffraction spikes. When bright objects are photographed through telescopes, they create specific spike patterns based on the telescope's mirror support structure. The spikes in the heaven image didn't match Hubble's known optical characteristics. Additionally, the story contained astronomical impossibilities. If such a massive structure existed at the edge of the observable universe as claimed, it would need to be incomprehensibly large, possibly larger than entire galaxy clusters. Such an object would violate known laws of physics and would have been detected by multiple telescopes and observation systems around the world. The lack of independent confirmation was another major issue. In the modern era of astronomy, significant discoveries are typically observed and verified by multiple institutions using different telescopes and instruments. No other observatory reported seeing this mysterious city, despite having the capability to observe the same region of space. Professional astronomers also pointed out that Hubble's observation schedules are carefully planned and documented. Every image taken by the telescope is cataloged and archived. There is no official record of Hubble observing the region of space where this city was allegedly discovered, nor is there any documentation of the specific observation session described in the story. As scientists and skeptics dug deeper into the mystery, they uncovered the true origins of the alleged heaven image. The investigation revealed that the photograph was not captured by any space telescope, but was actually a work of digital art created by talented artists using computer software. The most famous version of the heaven image was traced back to artist Adam Ferris, who specializes in creating stunning visual art from real astronomical photographs. Ferris uses a technique called pixel sorting to manipulate genuine Hubble images, creating ethereal and otherworldly effects that can look remarkably realistic. One of the most widely circulated heaven images was actually Ferris's artistic interpretation of a real Hubble photograph of the Swan Nebula, officially known as Messier 17. Using his pixel sorting technique, Ferris transformed the natural cosmic beauty of this star-forming region into something that could easily be mistaken for celestial architecture or heavenly gates. Ferris never claimed his artwork was genuine astronomical photography. He clearly presented his creations as digital art inspired by real space images. However, when these artistic works began circulating on social media and websites, they were often shared without proper attribution or context, leading many people to believe they were seeing actual NASA photographs. The artist expressed frustration when his work was misrepresented as scientific evidence. He had created these pieces to celebrate the natural beauty of the cosmos and to inspire wonder about the universe, not to deceive people or support religious claims. The misuse of his art highlighted the dangerous potential for digital manipulation in our current information landscape. Other alleged heaven images were traced to similar sources. Some were found to be completely fabricated using computer graphics software, while others were heavily manipulated versions of real astronomical photographs. The creators of these images often remained anonymous, making it impossible to determine their original intent or methodology. While the heaven image controversy captured public attention, it's important to remember the incredible legitimate discoveries that Hubble has made throughout its remarkable career. Since its launch in 1990, this extraordinary instrument has revolutionized our understanding of the universe and provided countless breathtaking images of cosmic phenomena. Hubble has observed the births and deaths of stars, captured detailed images of distant galaxies billions of light years away, and helped scientists determine the age of the universe at approximately 13.8 billion years old. The telescope has made over 1 million observations and contributed to more than 18,000 scientific publications. Some of Hubble's most famous and scientifically significant discoveries include the Hubble Deep Field images, which revealed thousands of previously unknown galaxies and what appeared to be empty patches of sky. These observations showed us that the universe contains far more galaxies than we ever imagined, fundamentally changing our understanding of cosmic scale and structure. The telescope has also provided crucial evidence for the existence of dark energy, the mysterious force that is accelerating the expansion of the universe. This discovery earned the 2011 Nobel Prize in Physics and represents one of the most important cosmological findings of the modern era. Hubble has captured stunning images of nebulae, the cosmic clouds of gas and dust where new stars are born. The famous pillars of creation in the Eagle Nebula showcase towering columns of cosmic material that stretch across light years of space. These images not only provide scientific insights into star formation but also inspire awe and wonder about the beauty and majesty of the cosmos. The telescope has also made groundbreaking observations of exoplanets, worlds orbiting other stars. By analyzing the atmospheres of these distant planets, Hubble has helped scientists understand the potential for life beyond our solar system and has identified several potentially habitable worlds. The heaven image controversy demonstrates the incredible power of viral misinformation in our digital age. Despite being thoroughly debunked by scientists and traced to artistic sources, the image continues to circulate on social media platforms, often accompanied by claims that NASA is hiding evidence of heaven. This persistence highlights several important factors about how false information spreads in modern society. First, emotionally compelling content tends to spread faster and wider than factual but less exciting information. The idea that NASA discovered heaven appeals to deep human desires for meaning, purpose, and evidence of life after death. Second, confirmation bias plays a crucial role in the spread of misinformation. People who want to believe in heaven or who distrust government institutions are more likely to accept and share the image without critically examining its authenticity. Once someone believes the story, they often dismiss contradictory evidence as part of a conspiracy or cover-up. Third, the complexity of the debunking process works against the truth. Explaining why the image is fake requires understanding telescope optics, image analysis, and the history of the artwork. This technical knowledge is much more complex than the simple emotional appeal of believing NASA found heaven. Social media algorithms also contribute to the problem by promoting content that generates strong emotional reactions and high engagement. Controversial or sensational content often receives more likes, shares, and comments than factual information, leading algorithms to show it to more users. The persistence of this misinformation has real consequences. It undermines public trust in scientific institutions, promotes conspiracy thinking, and can lead people to make important life decisions based on false information. It also distracts from the genuine wonders and discoveries that real space exploration continues to provide. Understanding the source of the original heaven story provides crucial context for evaluating its credibility. Weekly World News was a tabloid publication that operated from 1979 to 2007, well known for its sensational and often completely fictional stories presented as news. The publication regularly featured headlines about alien encounters, supernatural phenomena, and bizarre conspiracy theories. Some of their most famous recurring characters included Bat Boy, a half-human, half-bat creature allegedly found in a cave, and various alien beings who supposedly interacted with Earth governments. Weekly World News operated in a gray area between entertainment and journalism. While they presented their stories as factual news, the publication staff often acknowledged that many stories were fictional or heavily embellished. The tabloid served as inspiration for movies, television shows, and comedy sketches that parodied sensationalist media. The heaven story fit perfectly within Weekly World News's typical content strategy. It combined religious themes, government conspiracy elements, and scientific authority to create a compelling narrative that would appeal to their target audience. The story was designed to generate sales and reader engagement rather than inform the public about legitimate scientific discoveries. When the story was republished online in 2009, it reached a much wider audience than the original print publication ever could. Internet users who encountered the story often lacked context about its source and treated it as legitimate journalism rather than tabloid entertainment. This highlights the importance of considering source credibility when evaluating extraordinary claims, Legitimate scientific discoveries are typically announced through official channels, peer-reviewed journals, and credible news organizations that specialize in science reporting. Why do millions of people continue to believe in the NASA Heaven discovery, despite overwhelming evidence that it's false? The answer lies in fundamental aspects of human psychology and our deep-seated need for meaning and purpose in a seemingly vast and indifferent universe. Religious belief provides comfort, hope, and structure for billions of people worldwide. The possibility that science could validate these beliefs through concrete photographic evidence appeals to a natural desire for confirmation. When people encounter the heaven image, they're not just seeing a photograph, they're seeing potential validation of their most deeply held beliefs about existence, mortality, and the nature of reality. Cognitive dissonance theory explains why people often reject evidence that contradicts their existing beliefs. When presented with information that challenges what they want to believe, individuals often experience psychological discomfort that motivates them to dismiss or rationalize away the contradictory evidence. It's psychologically easier to believe that scientists are part of a conspiracy than to accept that the heaven image is fake. The human brain is also naturally pattern-seeking. We evolved to identify meaningful shapes and structures in our environment as a survival mechanism. This tendency can lead us to see intentional design or familiar objects in random patterns, a phenomenon known as pareidolia. When people look at nebulae, galaxy clusters, or artistic interpretations of space images, they may genuinely perceive architectural features or cityscapes that aren't actually there. Confirmation bias further reinforces these beliefs. Once someone accepts the heaven discovery as real, they tend to seek out information that supports this belief, while avoiding or dismissing contradictory evidence. Online communities and social media echo chambers can strengthen these biases by connecting believers with others who share similar views. The appeal of the heaven story also reflects broader cultural tensions between science and religion. Some people view scientific discoveries as threatening to religious faith, while others see potential harmony between scientific evidence and spiritual beliefs. The heaven image offers a bridge between these worldviews, suggesting that science and faith can coexist and even support each other. While NASA's heaven discovery may be false, the universe is full of genuine, awe-inspiring phenomena that inspire spiritual reflection. Modern astronomy reveals cosmic structures that stretch the limits of imagination. Gravitational lensing, for example, shows how massive objects like galaxy clusters bend spacetime, creating multiple images or rings of light known as Einstein rings, evidence that space and time can be warped by gravity. The cosmic web, a vast network of matter stretching across billions of light years, resembles neural pathways or blood vessels, hinting at repeated patterns in nature at different scales. Black holes, where gravity is so intense that not even light escapes, challenge our understanding of physics. Supermassive black holes at galaxy centers seem to shape galaxy evolution like cosmic engines. The James Webb Space Telescope has begun showing us the first galaxies after the Big Bang, some more developed than expected, reshaping our understanding of the early universe. Even quantum mechanics adds mystery, with particles existing in multiple states and suggesting realities like parallel universes or hidden dimensions. Humanity's quest for meaning in the universe is a deep, universal drive. Across cultures and history, people have looked to the stars for guidance, inspiration, and signs of higher powers. Ancient civilizations built observatories and linked celestial events to gods, myths, and human fate, grounding their worldviews in the heavens. Modern science has revealed an even deeper connection. The atoms in our bodies were created in the cores of dying stars. We are literally made of stardust. Today, the search continues through efforts like SETI and NASA's astrobiology programs, which look for signs of life beyond Earth. Thousands of exoplanets have been discovered, some in habitable zones, suggesting life may be more common than once thought. Even without proof of divine beings, the universe itself, with its vast complexity and our emergence from it, is enough to evoke awe and spiritual reflection. That we can understand our cosmic origins may be the greatest wonder of all. The NASA Heaven hoax underscores the vital role of scientific literacy in today's tech-driven world. As science increasingly shapes our lives, understanding how to separate real science from misinformation is essential. Scientific literacy means more than knowing facts. It's about understanding how science works, forming hypotheses, testing ideas, evaluating evidence, and accepting that knowledge evolves. This helps us identify solid claims versus speculation or deceit. Critical thinking is key. People must evaluate sources, spot logical fallacies, and distinguish between correlation and causation. In the digital age, where anyone can share content, these skills are crucial. Science is trustworthy because of built-in checks, peer review, reproducibility, and transparency. Education should focus not just on facts, but on teaching students how to think scientifically, question effectively, analyze data, and communicate results while also understanding science's limits. Media literacy is equally important. People must learn to assess media sources, understand motivations behind content, and recognize credible scientific reporting versus entertainment or clickbait. Perhaps the most profound mystery we face is not whether heaven exists in space, but rather the nature of consciousness itself. How does the 3-pound mass of neural tissue in our skulls give rise to subjective experience, self-awareness, and the capacity for wonder about the universe? Neuroscience has made remarkable progress in understanding how the brain processes information, forms memories, and controls behavior. We can now observe neural activity in real time and even stimulate specific brain regions to influence thoughts and perceptions. Yet the hard problem of consciousness, explaining why we have subjective inner experiences at all, remains one of the deepest mysteries in science. Some scientists and philosophers propose that consciousness might be a fundamental property of the universe, like mass or electric charge. This perspective, known as panpsychism, suggests that even simple particles might have rudimentary forms of experience that combine in complex ways to create human consciousness. Others argue that consciousness emerges from the complex information processing capabilities of biological neural networks. According to this view, consciousness is not a separate substance but rather a pattern of activity that arises when information is integrated and processed in specific ways. The relationship between consciousness and the physical universe raises profound questions about the nature of reality itself. If consciousness can observe and influence quantum systems, as some interpretations of quantum mechanics suggest, then the traditional distinction between observer and observed becomes blurred. These questions connect to age-old philosophical and religious inquiries about the soul, free will, and the possibility of existence beyond physical death. While science cannot yet provide definitive answers to these mysteries, ongoing research in neuroscience, psychology, and physics continues to expand our understanding of mind and reality. As we stand at the threshold of a new era in space exploration, the questions raised by stories like the NASA Heaven discovery take on new significance. The James Webb Space Telescope is already revolutionizing our understanding of the early universe, while missions to Mars are searching for signs of past or present life on our neighboring planet. Private companies like SpaceX are making space travel more accessible and affordable, potentially opening the cosmos to ordinary citizens rather than just professional astronauts. Within the next few decades, humans may establish permanent settlements on the Moon and Mars, fundamentally changing our relationship with the universe beyond Earth. The search for extraterrestrial life continues to intensify with new technologies and methodologies. Advanced telescopes can now analyze the atmospheric composition of exoplanets, potentially detecting biosignatures that could indicate the presence of living organisms. Radio and optical SETI programs continue scanning the skies for signals from alien civilizations. Breakthrough Starshot, an ambitious project backed by physicist Stephen Hawking before his death, aims to send tiny spacecraft to Alpha Centauri using laser propulsion. These miniature probes could reach our nearest stellar neighbor within 20 years, potentially providing our first close-up look at planets orbiting another star. As our exploration capabilities expand, we may encounter phenomena that challenge our current understanding of physics and reality. The universe is far stranger and more complex than previous generations could have imagined, and future discoveries may reveal aspects of existence that seem impossible by today's standards. The NASA Heaven controversy reflects a deeper tension between scientific and spiritual ways of understanding reality. While these approaches often seem to conflict, Many people find ways to integrate both perspectives into coherent worldviews that honor both empirical evidence and spiritual experience. Science excels at explaining how natural processes work and predicting the behavior of physical systems. It provides tools for understanding the universe's structure, evolution, and underlying laws. However, science has limitations when addressing questions of meaning, purpose, and ultimate significance. Spirituality and religion address different types of questions about existence, morality, and the nature of consciousness. These traditions offer frameworks for understanding suffering, death, love, and the search for meaning that transcend purely materialistic explanations. Many scientists maintain active spiritual lives while adhering to rigorous empirical standards in their professional work. They see no contradiction between studying the natural world scientifically and finding spiritual meaning in the beauty, complexity, and mystery of the universe that science reveals. The key is maintaining appropriate boundaries between these different ways of knowing. Scientific claims should be evaluated using scientific criteria, while spiritual insights can provide personal meaning and guidance that complements rather than contradicts empirical knowledge. The story of NASA's supposed discovery of heaven highlights our deep need for meaning in a vast universe. While the claim of photographing heaven has been disproved, the emotional response reveals much about human nature and our cosmic curiosity. Today, science is offering astonishing insights from star formation and gravitational waves to quantum entanglement and dark energy that prove reality is stranger and more wondrous than any myth. These discoveries demonstrate the importance of intellectual honesty and emotional openness in our search for truth, even when it challenges our beliefs. Regardless of whether heaven exists in space, our capacity to love, hope, and seek meaning is extraordinary. Human consciousness may be the most miraculous phenomenon, allowing us to create, care, and reflect on existence. As science advances, new discoveries will continue to reshape our understanding. The true heaven may not be in a certain place, but in our ongoing journey of exploration, creation, and connection. As we explore the universe, we discover ourselves. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Always approach bold claims with skepticism, but be open to the real wonders around us. Truth, often harder to believe than fiction, makes the universe the greatest show. If this video helps clarify the line between evidence and misinformation, please like, share, and subscribe for more about space, science, and our place in the universe. Keep looking up, asking questions, and wondering. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.